Hello everybody, my name is Nafaa Chbili. I am a faculty member at the Department of Mathematical Sciences at United Arab Emirates University. It is a great pleasure for me to be here today and to be given this opportunity to share my thoughts and experience on e-assessment in geometry and the graduate course with all of you. Thank you very much for the organizers for giving me this opportunity. So here is an outline of my talk. I will start by an introduction, then I will talk about the context of this experience, then I will give some examples, discuss different challenges and opportunities, and give some suggestions. So this is a geometry undergraduate course which is offered online. It is also assessed online. All assessments are done online through the blackboard. Assessments are conducted using the Respondus lockdown browser with monitor. So students are locked into the only page of the exam questions, and the exam is monitored by the webcam. So there is a recording that we can check after students submit their answers. We are also working in the outcomes-based education. So we test students, then we also assess the attainment and the achievements of the predefined course learning outcomes. So I'll just list few challenges that we are facing. The first challenge is due to the nature of geometry. Geometry is not computer friendly. What does it mean? It means that, or what I mean by that is that geometry is not computational. We don't always follow algorithms to solve geometry problems. So you can see in algebra, or if you have an equation, then there is an algorithm that you follow, that students follow, and reach the solution at the end. However, in the example displayed here, the geometry example, if we want student to show that CD equal BE in the figure that you can see in the slide, usually students, they don't know from where to start. So it is difficult for them because there is no algorithm and no steps that they memorize. Each situation needs a special treatment. It is also difficult for instructors to design exams with such questions. Another challenge, in my opinion, is that we are at this undergraduate geometry course, and if we follow the Van Heel model, we are working at level 3 and 4. We want to test student skills in level 3 and 4, deduction and rigor. And if we want to assess the rigor, then the synthesis, the critical thinking, and writing complete proofs. This requires to design multi-steps problems. How can we overcome this with the online tools available for us? Another challenge that we may face is how we can assess outcomes like the one displayed here. It is course learning outcome 3 in this geometry course. So the outcome is that students should be able to construct geometric figures with a ruler and a compass. This is a multi-step task which requires listing the steps, executing them properly, and writing proofs and the justification. With the online tools available, it is not easy to design an exam. So, as I said, we are assessing course learning outcomes, and what you see here in this slide is the front page, or screenshot of the front page of a geometry exam. So you will see a table with the course learning outcomes, a mapping between the questions and the course learning outcomes and the program learning outcomes. So each single question corresponding to a certain outcome, and we want to cover all the outcomes. We want to assess all of them and to generate a report on the attainment level of course learning outcomes. So let me explain a little bit more about the context. So it is a foundation of geometry course. It covers topics in Euclidean and non-Euclidean geometries like spherical, hyperbolic, Poincaré model, and also transformations, rigid motions in Euclidean and in hyperbolic geometry. And they are offered for students majoring in science, engineering, and education pre-service students. So here is how we prepare our exams using the blackboard. You can see that. So we have a good bunch of features that help design different kind of questions. You can see here this chart. It shows you the type of questions that we can use. So we can calculate formula. We can use numerical questions, multiple choice question, true false questions, multiple answers questions, and also essay questions. And we can also attach files. So here is the editor where we prepare, with which we can prepare our questions. It is quite helpful. So we can typeset all the formula, and it is LaTeX compatible. So we can use, you can typeset in LaTeX and then it will be compiled into and displayed as a question in a readable way. So here is an example of the question so that I'm using in the last few exam. So example of the online question. So if you have one step question like to check the hyperbolic center of Euclidean circle. So here you have just a formula to apply, and when you apply this formula, one or two steps, so it is fair, I think, to just ask this question as a multiple choice question. You can see another question also. This is a screenshot from an online exam also. So we can ask the inversion transforms a circle Q into what? Or the image by an inversion, and this is also can be done in few steps, and I think it is reasonable if we ask student to solve this as a multiple choice question. So if you look at our on paper exams, previous ones, so it will look like that. So if you look at question 1, so it is a construction problem, and if we ask student to construct, as I explained, this is difficult to be designed to ask student to reply to answer the question online. For question 2, question 3, and the question 4, which is a multiple choice or true false questions, it is possible, it is reasonable, but question 1 is not possible. If I look at the next slide, question 7 and 8, I don't think it's reasonable to ask them as a multiple choice questions, because the question 7, for example, the hyperbolic area of hyperbolic triangle, it requires some work, and it is computational, but it is multi-steps. Students will look at different angles, and then each angle, it requires some computation. So, and usually by experience, students, they make elementary computational mistakes. So it will be difficult to judge them only on the final answer. So since we don't have enough time, I will just like to share with you some suggestions. It is difficult, so what to design exams using online available tools on Blackboard. So I suggest to make some blended assessment using both on paper and online computer-based questions. The problem is that the implementation of this blended assessment is not practical for large section. If you have a section of 100 students and each student will send you or upload a file in different format, it is not practical. I have tried this and was not happy with the outcome. And for the course learning outcome, like construct geometric figures, I suggest to use project-based learning and assess students during their oral presentation. I think this is fair enough and it will reflect the students' level and students' achievement. Thank you very much.